Hello everyone, welcome to We Learn Legal, and we're almost about to complete the constitutional law in this legal reasoning complete playlist for CLAT. पहले की बहुत सारी क्लासेस कवर कर ली हैं, तो अगर आप पहली बार इस क्लास को देख रहे हो तो पहले उन क्लासेस को देख लेना, तभी आपको ये क्लास समझ में आएगी. ओके इस क्लास में हम बात करने वाले हैं DPSPs की, यानी कि डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी. इस पे से अगर मैं बताऊं तो 2025 क्लैट में से जो फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज का एक पैसेज आया था, उसमें एक हिंट थी ऑफ डायरेक्टिव प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ स्टेट पॉलिसी, क्योंकि जो पहला क्वेश्चन है स्क्रीन पे आपके दिख रहा होगा, उसमें डीपीएसपी का क्वेश्चन भी है, यानी कि उसका हिंट है. अगर डीपीएसपी आपने नहीं पढ़े होंगे तो आप वहां कंफ्यूज कर जाओगे, बिकॉज आर्टिकल 48 वाज इंक्लूडेड इन इट, और वो आपको पता होना चाहिए था, पर उसके लिए आपको ये चैप्टर पढ़ के जाना चाहिए था. पिछली साल जिन बच्चों ने इन क्लासेस को अवेल किया था उनका ये क्वेश्चन ठीक हुआ, बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स वो पढ़ के गए थे मेरी इन लाइव क्लासेस में. बट आप भी अब तैयार कर सकते हो, बिकॉज दीज क्लासेस आर कमिंग एब्सोल्युटली फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट जस्ट फॉर यू. सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद द क्लास. कोई डाउट होगा तो आप मेरे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप को ज्वाइन कर सकते हो. यू नो अबाउट इट ऑलरेडी, आई होप. इफ नॉट, देन चेक आउट अबाउट इट इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स बिलो. लिंक भी वहीं है, यू कैन ज्वाइन इट ओवर देयर. एंड नाउ लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद द क्लास.
Alright. So before we begin with the directive principle of state policy, can anyone tell me what according to you is a DPSP or a directive principle of state policy? Who can go ahead and give me an idea? If you don't even know, just try to break it down with the name. Directive principle of state policy. Yes, Samriddhi.
Yes, that DPSPs are some policies which the state must keep in mind while making the policies.
Very good. Basically, it is something that the state must keep in mind while they are going to, it's not made, okay, it's mind, while they are making the laws. Very good. And who is this state? Can you tell me which state is this? Which article was there that talked about state? Article
12.
Very good. So this was Article 12. Okay. So the state that we talked about in Article 12, when they will be making laws, remember, bachcho, did it include the parliament or not? Tell me with a yes or no. This state, did it include the parliament? Legislature? Yes. Yes. And did it include the state legislature? Yes. Okay. So both of these, be it the parliament at the center, क्योंकि ये center पे union पे होता है, and this in the states. States मतलब जो हमारी states हैं, like Rajasthan, MP, UP, and all of these. Okay. So these have a primary function of making law. You all know this much? ठीक है? कि ये इनका primary function है, that they will be making laws. All right. You remember there was executive, which was part of the state. The parliament, the state legislature was part of the state. The panchayats, the local bodies, local authorities, they were all under the meaning of the term state under Article 12. Now, when these parliament and state legislatures will be making the laws, okay, because it's their duty, it's their work to make the laws, there are some principles, there are some things that they should keep in mind. All right. ठीक है? So ये कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं कि जब स्टेट, अब स्टेट में कौन है बच्चों? We know that it is the parliament and the state legislatures. When they will be making the laws, then they should keep some things in mind to make sure that the laws that are made are constitutional. See, because they cannot make any law that comes to their mind, है ना? अब उनका मन करे that from now on everybody will only wear black clothes. ठीक है? Do you think this is a constitutional law? Do you think this is equal? Do you think this is okay to everyone? No, it is not. Okay. So that law will not stand the test of being constitutional. All right. So that law should be constitutional. That law should be, देखो जिसको हम क्या बोलते हैं normal भाषा में, in the spirit of law, which means that whatever is the spirit of law, जो law की आत्मा है, उसको ठेस नहीं पहुंचानी चाहिए. Like जैसे हम होता है, like for example, you're going to a party and you want to wear a very nice, very beautiful skirt. It's a mini skirt, bullet mini skirt. Okay. Mummy is not saying anything, but she says कि पहन लो, पापा को अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. Getting? So they're like कि ठीक है, मतलब you can wear it, but it will not be liked by papa. So this is something that are some principles which you must keep in mind while you're preparing for, going to a party. Or mummy says कि ठीक है, you can go out, but just make sure that you're back by 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. or whatever the time of your curfew is. Okay? मेरे को तो इतना भी allow नहीं करते थे 8-9 बजे तो ठीक है. But अब तो things have changed. But yes. So these are some principles, all right, which you should follow. देखो बच्चों, the word should over here is very important. ठीक है, that you should follow, because these are only directive principles. Directive का meaning समझते हो? That show you the direction. All right, they cannot be something that you know कि you can go and claim. Giving an example, tell me one thing बच्चों, if I had a fundamental right and if somebody was trying to take away my fundamental right, so which article did we read about that we could go directly to the Supreme Court to take back our fundamental right? Which was it? जिसमें writs भी थे 5.
32.
Very good. So it was Article 32, right? So by that, we understand that they are enforceable where in the courts.
Court of law.
Court of law, right? They were enforceable in the court of law, they were enforceable in the courts. But that is a main difference between fundamental rights and the DPSPs. That on one side, बच्चों, जहाँ पे fundamental rights were enforceable in the courts, which means if somebody will take them away, we can directly go to the Supreme Court and say, "Bhai, this is my fundamental right, give it to me. I will not let you take away my fundamental right." But directive principles of state policy, these are some directions. इनको आप कोर्ट में ले जाके sue नहीं कर सकते इनके लिए. Now you get it? That you, if they are not being followed, it's a bad thing. Yes, we agree. We have all the sympathy with you, but still you cannot go to the court and ask for the enforceability of DPSP. Got it? So just break them down a little bit. मैं एक बार ये इसको erase कर रही हूँ. I want you to just look at it like this. So just let's read it backward, बच्चों. ठीक है? Policy. What do you understand by policy, बच्चों? Anyone can give me an example, or what is a policy according to you?
Rules and regulations.
Very good. So it can be any rules, any regulations, any other synonyms that you have for policy. Schemes, government schemes. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, right? कि this is the government policy, this is the government scheme. All right. State, you understand? What was state, बच्चों? Under which article was state? Okay. Samriddhi, you have a doubt?
Can also say policy as the guidelines.
हाँ, very good. Very good. We will come to that. Very good. So, as Samriddhi was also pointing out, that directive principles would be the lines of guidance, है ना? Something that you are being guided to. देखो, guidance क्या होती है? That somebody will guide you. It is up to you that you follow or you do not follow that. Of course, it is always better that you follow the guidance, but there can be times when you do not, want to follow these guidance. It will not be very much, appreciated. But yes, you still have the independence of not following them. But these are something. Yes. So yes, guidelines which you are saying, Samriddhi. So these are basically some guidelines, some points of guiding the state. Okay, guiding the state, that is the parliament, the state legislature, that whenever you will move ahead with making a law, then these are the guidelines that you can look up to. Because if you think, like, for example, if you're making a law for education, okay, you can go to the directive principles and check ki, acha, if there is anything regarding the education, all right, okay, we should give education to children who are from 6 to 14 years of age, okay, all right, let's make a law for this very principle only. So you can actually take, it's like a to-do list, okay, it's like a to-do list, just like a guideline, which you should look forward to, fulfill if you are a welfare state, if you're really working fine, okay. So anyway, so now you've understood the meaning, bachcho. What is a directive principle? Okay, now you understand. Directive will show you a direction. It is like a guideline. Policy will be the rules. While you're making the rules, you will follow these guidelines. Simple as that. Okay. Chalo. Just give me. I hope you ho gaya ho. So stated is under Article 12, and directive ka matlab hai simply nothing else but these are the guidelines. Okay. And principles, basically these are some kinds of rules or some kinds of basically guidelines यहाँ पे आएगा more or less, ठीक है? And directive में basically these would be that show the direction. Okay, चलो, let's move forward and complete this. That this is in part 4. So बच्चों part 3 में क्या था? What was there in part 3 of the Constitution? Very good. It was the fundamental rights. Okay. So right after part 3, the next chapter comes. Basically, it's the next part of the Constitution, which is part 4. And there we have the directive principles of state policy. In short, bachcho, they're also called as DPSP. So kabhi confused mat hona. It is directive principles of state policy. Simple, okay? So part 4 of the Constitution of India has directive principles of state policy. And iske articles kaun se the? From articles, which article to which article? Part 3?
12 to 35.
Very good. Articles 12 to 35 were fundamental rights. And उसी से आगे देखो next क्या है? 36 to 51. So part 3 से part 4 and 35 से 36 to 51. All right. I again say do not need to remember the articles as such because they never ask you direct articles, but still it is always better for your mental clarity that you have compartmentalized your knowledge. Okay. So part 4 in articles 36 to 51, they are called as the instrument of instructions, and they were said so in the Government of India Act 1935. Does anyone know about the GOI Act, the Government of India Act 1935? What was it? What was the relevance? कुछ भी पता है? चलो. So what happened is कि it was actually 15th August, जो कल है, 15th August 1947. Yes, Samriddhi, you want to answer?
हमारे देश इसमें था कि lengthiest constitution of the country, जिससे हमारी country federal बनी थी.
ठीक है. So काफी हद तक क्या हुआ था? Let's see. This was the date when India became independent, right? Acha, and what was the date when we had our constitution enforced? What was that date? Enforcement, I'm asking.
26 January.
26 January
And the year was?
1960.
Very good. All right. So this was the Republic Day when our constitution got enforced. All right. But even before 15th August 1947, and of course this date also, there were some acts. ठीक है, जैसे अभी हमारे act बनाते हैं, जो parliament हमारे acts बनाती है. All right. There were some acts which talked about the legal system of India. All right. And one of the most famous of them were बच्चों Government of India Act. मतलब how will the government of entire India will look like? ठीक है. जैसे अब मैं बोलूं Water Act. It means it talks about the water, the protection of water, prevention from pollution, Wildlife Protection Act. It means that through this act, we want to protect the wildlife. All right. So the name of the act itself tells about the purpose of that act. So Government of India Act told about that how is the Government of India at the time of 1935. So some features of the Indian Constitution, जो अभी हैं, like currently we have them in the Indian Constitution, were already there in the GOI Act of 1935. All right. And DPSP, they are also one of the things which were already there in 1935 in the previous act. We just have picked them from this act and brought them into the new constitution. But उस time पे they were not called as the directive principles, but they were called as instrument of instructions. देखो instrument जो होता है ना बच्चों, instrument means a document. So please इसको पेचकस या प्लास वाला इंस्ट्रूमेंट मत समझ लेना, ठीक है? It's not that instrument. Instrument in legal भाषा is known as a document. Okay? And document and instructions तो आपको पता ही है, these are the guidelines. तो नाम से ही साबित हो रहा है that these were the document of guidelines. Okay? But later on they were renamed as directive principles of state policy. So if somebody says that directive principles came for the very first time directly in the Indian Constitution, is it true or false then? No, they were already there. है ना? You can say कि भाई a chapter, but it was named differently. It was called as instrument of instructions, but it was already there in the Government of India Act 1935. All right. Next, they were borrowed from Constitution of Ireland, who himself had borrowed it from the Spanish Constitution. ये देखो जरा तुम चेन वो नहीं होती कि मैंने अपना सामान किसी को दिया, उसने मेरा और आगे किसी को दे दिया, उसने और किसी को दे दिया. ठीक है. नाम आस्किंग कि भाई मेरे शूज वापस दे दे, वो तो मैंने उसको दे दिए. अब वो कह रहे कि तू दे दे भाई, वो तो मैंने आगे दे दिए. So it was actually like this. So originally they were in the Spanish Constitution. ये आपको याद रखने की ऐसी जरूरत नहीं है. Then from Spain, Ireland also borrowed this, and we borrowed this system from Ireland. You know this, na? Remember when we read about the salient features of Indian Constitution, we read about it that many features of the Indian Constitution have been taken from various other constitutions, right? Like we lied something from one constitution, वहाँ से ले लिया, कुछ we took from here, कुछ we took from there. So we borrowed a lot of features, and then we became we made the entire constitution. Okay? हाँ समृद्धि बोलो.
स्पेन की कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से
नहीं, मतलब एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि जब हमने लिया था तो ऑलरेडी हमने किस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को रेफर किया था? हमने आयरलैंड के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को रेफर किया था. ओके. बट अगर हम ओरिजिनल सोर्स पे जाएं, सो दैट वाज स्पेनिश कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ओके. सो अगर हम ओरिजिनल बोरोइंग माने तो ऑफ कोर्स इट इज स्पेनिश, क्योंकि भाई अल्टीमेटली तो वो स्पेन से आया. बट did India refer to the Spanish Constitution? No, we refer to the Irish Constitution, who themselves had taken it from the Spanish Constitution. Okay, so अगर ये बोले कि इंडिया ने डायरेक्टली कहाँ से बोरो किया था, तो आंसर विल बी आयरलैंड, नॉट स्पेन. Okay, because we did not borrow from Spain, Ireland borrowed from Spain. So हम थर्ड पार्टी बेनिफिशियरी हैं बेसिकली, ऐसा हो गया. ठीक है. So next क्या बोल रहा है देखो, that it was like we know it was borrowed from Ireland, and then it was made or they were brought in the constitution to establish economic and social democracy. देखो बच्चों, Indian constitution is the lengthiest written constitution. We all know that, right? But there is a reason to pick every single feature of the constitution. Okay, so you have to remember that इतने articles में से कुछ add किया गया था तो ऐसे ही नहीं add कर दिया just for no reason. Everything had a special feature, a special reason to be added. And the reason for adding the DPSPs was to establish economic and social democracy. Okay? How do we know that it was to establish economic and social democracy? Once when you will read that what all principles are there in the DPSP, then you will understand कि इन सबका जो look वो है target है, right? It is to give economic and social democracy to the Indian people. All right. Like let me take an example. When we read about right to freedom. Remember, there was article 19, 20, 21, 22. 4 articles were there under one bracket only. But what did we know? That ultimately, be it 19, be it 20, 21, 22, everyone, each article's purpose is to give freedom to the people. Was it? Now, different forms of freedoms were there, which were categorized in under 19, some were under 20, some were under 21, like that. All right. So similarly, bachon, all the articles that we will read in DPSPs, the ultimate goal of every single article will be to provide or to establish economic and social democracy. So this is one thing that you should know, that this is something. Just imagine, bachon, in 1947 when India got independence, क्या रही होगी Indian society की हालत उस time पे? What do you think? Were we very rich? Were we doing very well? We were high on education. What do you think? How was it?
We were not doing.
Yes, है ना? मतलब it was a bare minimum thing बच्चों, that we were just independent. हमें बस ये था कि भाई हमें सिर्फ independence दे दो. India being an agricultural economy, बच्चों, we did not have food to even give to our own people. So we were dying of hunger. Education was so bad. People had no money. Remember when we studied about right to property? Remember जब मैंने कहा था कि कई ऐसे लोग थे जिनके पास they had big lands, but there were so many people who did not have इतने से भी lands. So big lands were broken down, then they were distributed among the landless laborers, right? So the situation of economy, the situation of society, education, hunger, food was very bad. All right. So in that situation, yes, Samriddhi, yes, such a good point that you have raised. That and adding to this, we had trade barriers. Now, Bacho, what we should understand by trade barriers, that earlier India was a closed economy. By closed economy, what happens is that you're producing for yourself, you're eating yourself. Eating as in whatever you're producing. Let's say you're manufacturing, you're consuming, manufacturing, consuming. So आप अपने ही circle में घिर के रह जाते हो. You're in your own closed system only. But due to which India was not able to bring any good imports. Imports का सोचता भी तो we did not have good money. If we would have thought कि okay, let's just earn some money by exporting something, nobody was ready to buy anything from India because we did not match on the international quality. So halat was bad. Only after बच्चों 1991 we broke the trade barriers. I'm pretty sure if you would have read carefully in your schools, you must have heard about the LPG system. अब ये liquefied petroleum gas नहीं है, ठीक है? It sounds like that. It is L for liberalization, P for privatization, G for globalization. Okay, बच्चों, so these are very important pillars of democracy, जिसमें हमने अपने trade barriers को मतलब हमने तोड़ा, and we said कि भाई India will import goods, India will export goods, we will do global tie-ups also. अभी सुना है? कभी हम कहते हैं कि India और US का ये वाला tie-up हुआ है, and we will produce things together. How is it possible? Because India is breaking the barriers of economy, right? But पहले बच्चों ऐसा नहीं था, and thanks to the Green Revolution in the times of 1960s, that India became self-sufficient, at least in food. So why I'm trying to tell you, bachcho, that just think about the factor, the time when DPSPs were brought in the constitution, that was the year of 1950, when the constitution was finally made. But the 47 के बाद का ही time रहा होगा, right? Situation was very bad. Economically, we were doing bad. Agriculturally, socially, educationally, politically, however, whatever, India was not in a good situation. So keep that in mind, that all of these directive principles were framed at that time, giving us a way that, all right, slowly and slowly, we should give economic and social democracy to our people. And these are your goals. If you are a good government, you should make endeavors to give these following palana dhimkana things to your citizens. Now you understood? So please never ever be confused between fundamental rights and DPSPs. Please, many a times people get confused because बच्चों, fundamental rights बहुत बड़ा word है. Basic rights, you can fight for them even in the Supreme Court. But principles, guidelines, they are not so strong. They are just path showing. कर लो, बहुत अच्छी बात है, तुम्हें करना चाहिए. करना ही करना है ऐसा नहीं. Okay, so directive principles of state policy, that is why they are not enforceable in the courts of law. By that I simply mean that if these are not being fulfilled, you cannot go to the courts. You understood? Please isko star mark kar lo bachcho, that directive principles are not enforceable in the courts of law, whereas on the contrary, fundamental rights, because they are rights that are so fundamental, they are enforceable even directly in the Supreme Court, that they are so powerful. Okay? Now if I were to ask a question, that एक side पे है fundamental rights and on another side we have directive principles, who are stronger? Fundamental rights are stronger in nature or DPSPs are stronger in nature? Come on, tell me quickly.
Fundamental rights.
Very good, bachcho. So there is no doubt whatsoever, fundamental rights are stronger in nature because they are enforceable. And बच्चों ये ऐसा भी नहीं कि हल्का फुल्का enforceable directly even in the Supreme Court, thanks to article, which article? Thanks to article? Which one?
32.
Very good, article 32, which gives us the power as citizens and people to directly go to the Supreme Court. So now you understood the basic features of directive principles. They are in part 4, just after fundamental rights. Articles 36 to 51, they were earlier called as instruments of instructions. Instruments in legal bhasha, in legal language, that means document. Instructions would be guidelines. If India borrowed them from the Constitution of Ireland, जो उसने खुद स्पेन से लिया था, इतना याद करने की जरूरत नहीं, but yes, it is also a borrowed provision. Okay, the purpose is to establish economic and social democracy, and unlike, I'm not saying alike, please mind my words, unlike the fundamental rights, they are not enforceable in the courts of law. All right. Now, a very good thing, a very easy way of studying the directive principles, bachcho, is to break them into 3 categories. But please mark my words, these categories are not mentioned in the Constitution. See here. No classification of as such has been mentioned in the Constitution. हम अपनी खुद की ease के लिए इनको 3 types में break कर लेते हैं. Okay? उनके purpose के हिसाब से, like for example, those that have more purpose of socialism, है ना, like treating people more equally, bringing rich and poor together. So whatever will be on socialist side, they are put under the category of socialist principles. Gandhi ji, you remember, he had a very different way of thinking, that, you know, we should live a sattvic jeevan, we should not drink alcohol, we should, you know, treat animals nicely and all of these things. So unke jaise jo principles hain, they are categorized as Gandhian principles. All right. And जो इस तरह के हैं कि education पे काम करो, we should all, you know, develop, we should all become good in education, we should, you know, improve the temperament of science among people and everything. All of these are under liberal intellectual principles. All right. So these are just for the ease of studying. Bachcho, these are 3 categories. Please once again remember that they have not been categorized as say in the Constitution. Okay. They are just for our ease of studying. All right. Now we will just simply read them one by one. And you have to tell me that which of these directive principles you see to be fulfilling in the current situation. जो आपने कभी देखा हो, किसी government scheme का नाम आप बता सकते हो. And you can tell me that, yes, the state, through this particular act or this particular scheme, it is trying to do something in this area. All right. Let's quickly start, bachcho, with the socialist principles. All right. Do remember that socialist principle, they would keenly, inka aim hai, that aims at what? At socialism. And by socialism, we simply mean that we want to reduce the gap between rich and poor. Okay, so India also is a socialist country. Like India is actually a mixed economy, it's a mixed system, but definitely we are trying to do some endeavors so that the rich and poor can come at equal pedestal. All right, chalo. Let's see. They aim at providing social and economic justice, and they set the path towards a welfare state that India is. All right, India is a welfare state. Can anyone tell me why or how can I say that India is a welfare state? India is a welfare state.
सोसाइटी के लिए वो काम कर रहा है ना.
अच्छा ठीक है, वेरी गुड. हम सोसाइटी के लिए, क्योंकि हमारी गवर्नमेंट काम करती है, राइट?
हाँ,
वेरी गुड. ठीक है, ठीक है निहारिका, बोलो.
मैम, क्योंकि हमारा कंट्री मोस्टली अभी तक रिजर्वेशन सिस्टम पे चल रहा है, इट गिव्स, जैसे आप बोलते हो ना कि इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी, इक्वल्स में ही हम लोग इक्वल को मानते हैं, या अनइक्वल्स कैन बी ट्रीटेड एज इक्वल्स.
Very good. And for that, to bring unequals equal to the other people, we have reservation system, for example, है ना? So we are trying to do some welfare. Samriddhi has also answered in the chat box that, for example, we have schemes and policies by Narendra Modi. Actually में क्या होता है समृद्धि, वो नरेंद्र मोदी की schemes नहीं होती. By the name itself, वो प्रधानमंत्री वो कहा जाता है. तो प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, they are not by the virtue of Narendra Modi, they are by the virtue of the office of Prime Minister. All right, so always remember that. So even if Narendra Modi does not remain to be the Prime Minister of India, these schemes can continue because they are from the office of Prime Minister, not Narendra Modi per se. Okay, but yes, let's take an example. जो मैं अभी यही दे रही थी, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना, in which the government is trying to build पक्का houses for the poor people, है ना? So what is it trying to do? उनसे पैसे थोड़ी लेती है. It is just trying to do some welfare for the people so that they can have a good place in the society. All right. Now let's start with the first article. All right. Really sorry for the unexpected yet expected problem. चलो let's quickly start with article 38. Okay, देखो जो article 36 था and article 37, basically article 36 only says that these are the directive principles which will be guiding the state, and article 37 only says that these will not be enforceable. That's the only thing. Okay, so that's why I've not included in this क्योंकि वो इतना कुछ खास नहीं है, already हम पढ़ चुके हैं, वही ये बोलते हैं. All right, now let's move forward with article 38. It says to promote the welfare of the people by securing a social order through justice. Now, which kind of justice? Social, economic, and political, and to minimize inequalities in income, status, facilities, and opportunities. So, Article 38. तो ये कहीं पे पढ़ा लग रहा है क्या? This portion, justice, social, economic, political. Where did we read about it?
Preamble.
Very good. Yes. So it was there in the preamble. All right. So see, we have duplicated the same thing over here and it is there in the preamble, which means that we are trying to achieve such kind of justice, social justice, economic as well as political justice. So 38 simply बोलता है कि भाई हम एक welfare state को promote करेंगे where we will try to give people justice, which is social justice, economic in terms of money, and political, which means like, for example, if you are above 18, I'm above 18, you can also cast vote, I can also cast vote. You can also, if you're above that particular age, you can stand up in the elections. I can also take part in elections, okay? So politically, we'll all be given justice. And to minimize inequalities, in which field? In income status, in facilities and opportunities. So can anyone tell me कि ऐसा मिलता जुलता कोई fundamental right आपको याद आ रहा है क्या? Which one was it? Or have we read anything like this for opportunities or something like that?
Article 16.
Very good. So बच्चों, you remember Article 15, Article 16. What were they about? They were about opportunities, and 16 was about employment, public employment. Remember? So ultimately, this is one DPSP that some or the other way we are trying to get implemented in our fundamental rights as well. So you get it? That this is one way that we can, yes, very good, Samriddhi. When we talk about right to practice any profession, which was under Article 19, all right? So this was also for the income that, if you can, you can practice your profession, I can practice my profession, we can all earn income. Yes, and also with public employment. Very good. So अब थोड़ा DPSP का मीनिंग समझ में आ रहा है that these were some guidelines जिनको हम fulfill करने की कोशिश करते हैं by the matter of rights. Got it? So directly these DPSPs are not that you can claim, they are not enforceable. But if there was a right made using these guidelines, these directive principles, then that right is definitely enforceable. Got it? So here you will have to see. So every article we'll break like this only, and we'll try to see if at all we have any fundamental right or any other right that is related to these directives. Article 39. To secure citizens, what? Pehla, right to adequate means of livelihood for all citizens. Can anyone tell me right to livelihood? It included right tha. It was not directly written, but it was included under a very important
Article 21.
Shabash. Kya baat hai? Harani is very good with numbers, I've seen. She is very good at remembering numbers. So, yes. So, Article 21, bachcho, included so many rights. Remember, right to privacy was there, and right to fly abroad was there, right to decent burial, right to healthy environment, all of these. Yes. Very good, Samriddhi. So, this was right to life and personal liberty, and right to livelihood was an included right under Article 21. So, we have Article 21, which includes livelihood for all citizens. Secondly, we will give to all citizens equitable distribution of material resources of the community for the common good, which means, let's take an example that there is a lake and people can take out water from that lake for their household, right? So there is this resource which is a natural, which matlab example ले रही हूँ मैं natural resource का. So no matter which caste you belong to, which community you belong to, which religion you belong to, you or I equally we will be able to take water from that lake. Just an example. कोई fundamental right याद आ रहा है मिलता जुलता? Which one was it?
Untouchability.
Yes. तो एक हो सकता है बिल्कुल. Very good, Samriddhi. It is one is for sure your Article 14, which talks about the right to equality. And definitely we can include Article 17, which also talked about the abolition of untouchability. मतलब इस example में untouchability काफी fit बैठेगा. But otherwise, let's take an example that there are, trees. कुछ भी हो सकते हैं resources for that matter, है ना? So all should have equal, access to those resources. So right to equality is one article over here. All right. Chalo next. Prevention of concentration of wealth and means of production, which means, let's take an example that I have a factory. Now I say that only I can have a factory in this area. You can't start your own business, okay? Because I want all the wealth to be in my hands. This will not be allowed, okay? So इसमें कौन सा आर्टिकल हम फिट कर सकते हैं? वही वाला है वैसे, ऊपर हम पढ़ चुके हैं उस आर्टिकल को. कौन सा हो सकता है बच्चों? That nothing should be concentrated. Everybody
Right to settle in any part.
अच्छा, settlement बेटा इतना नहीं होगा.
नहीं मैम सॉरी, वो right to do any profession वाला था.
हाँ,
Sorry.
very good. So बेटा one can be Article 19 के अंदर to do any profession, है ना? क्योंकि भाई आप अगर वो काम कर सकते तो I can also do it. As well as Article 14 also. That I will be also treated equally. If you have the opportunity to do a business, you cannot concentrate wealth in your hand. I also have the opportunity to do business. All right? ये तो बहुत ही simple सा है. Equal pay for equal work. नाम में ही है. तो कौन सा हो सकता है? Article 14. Simple as that. कि भाई if you are working, I am also working. If you are doing the same work, we will be paid equally as well. All right. So mostly it is Article 39 is almost we have tried to see it in Article 14. Next. Preservation of health and strength of workers and children against forcible abuse. ये कौन बता सकता है मुझे? ये इसका
24.
Very good, very good. It was Article 24. Remember बच्चों, Article 20 and 23 and 24 they were right against exploitation. Very good, Samriddhi. Yes, the exact name was right against exploitation, and 24 specifically talked about forced labor or any kind of child labor and even illegal trafficking. Okay, so very good. Now here, opportunities for the healthy development of children. ये क्या हो सकता है बच्चों? कौन सा भाविका?
24 में आ सकता है ये.
हाँ, आ सकता है वैसे तो, लेकिन एक और है जो मेनली इसको कवर कर सकता है. हेल्थ, राइट टू हेल्थ बेसिकली अगर मैं कवर करूँ, किस में था?
21.
वेरी गुड. इट वाज आर्टिकल 21, है ना? बिकॉज अगर मैं लाइफ की बात कर रही हूँ तो राइट टू हेल्दी लाइफ भी मेरा एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट राइट है, एंड चिल्ड्रन का भी इसमें इंक्लूड हो जाएगा राइट. ठीक है, अब आ रहा है समझ में? सी हाउ इंटरेस्टिंग इट इज दैट दीज वर ऑल बच्चों एट वन टाइम ना, these were all only some guidelines, and we were fighting and struggling to have them in fundamental rights. But slowly and slowly the society has worked very hard, the state, the government has worked very hard to give us all of these as rights. Okay, चलो moving next. देखो पहला हमारे कौन से थे? These were बच्चों socialist principles. So you can see they're all targeting towards wealth, towards finances, towards work, opportunity, livelihood, all of these things. So जो भी इस तरह की बातें होंगी, they will be included under socialist. Next देखो हमारा कौन सा है? It is Gandhian principles. So Gandhi, they're actually named after Mahatma Gandhi only. ठीक है, ये इंदिरा गांधी के नाम पे नहीं है, या कभी तुम राहुल गांधी के नाम पे समझ लो. ठीक है, they were named after Mahatma Gandhi only because the target or the aim of these articles, somehow they are in lines with the thought or the ideology of Mahatma Gandhi. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट वन है आर्टिकल 40. प्लीज इनके आर्टिकल्स रटने मत बैठ जाना, ठीक है? ये मत करना आर्टिकल्स याद. ओके, बहुत ही कोई फेमस सा है तो कर लेना, अदरवाइज यू कैन स्किप द आर्टिकल्स फॉर दीज. ओके, चलो पहला है टू ऑर्गेनाइज विलेज पंचायत्स and endow them, यानी कि to give them, endow का मतलब होता है give. ठीक है, endow them, give them with necessary powers and authority to enable them to function as units of self-government. Can anyone tell me that do we have panchayats in India as a third tier of government now or not? Yes or no?
Yes,
And you
ma'am.
have your cameras off, each one of you. Very nice. I'm talking to myself and my screen. Okay. Very good, Niharika. Thank you so much for the enthusiasm. Thank you so much, Harini. All right. हाँ, so अब मुझे बताओ कि क्या इंडिया में पंचायत प्रॉपरली एज अ थर्ड टीयर मतलब कि थर्ड लेयर ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है या नहीं?
स्कूल में तो पढ़ाया था मैम।
हाँ तो है, बिल्कुल है, ठीक है। सो एक्चुअल में इट वाज अ बिग कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस वी शुड गिव टू राजीव गांधी who he worked very hard for making panchayats as proper system of government. So in India बच्चों, when we talk about the federal structure, हम बात करते हैं ना कि division of power is there, तो we have the center, we have the states, and at the third layer बच्चों we have the panchayats. All right, so in India we have a panchayati raj system, and इसका एक और example दूं. You remember when we read Article 12? So what all was included in Article 12? The state legislature, executive, village panchayats, local bodies,
Local authorities.
local authorities. Exactly, the word was local authority. तो कौन है? मैं हूँ क्या local authority? मैं नहीं हूँ भाई, पंचायत है, ठीक है। सो इन पंचायत को ही हमने इतनी पावर दी है, एंड यस समृद्धि, दे आर द ग्राम पंचायत, ठीक है, ग्राम सभा, ग्राम पंचायत, ग्राम न्यायालय, they're all there, all right? So currently we can say that village panchayats are definitely the third tier of Indian government, third tier मतलब third layer of Indian government, and they're also included within the meaning of state under Article 12. एक अपनी एक्स्ट्रा नॉलेज के लिए नोट कर सकते हो बच्चों, it was during the 70, it was through actually the 73rd amendment, if I'm not wrong, the year was 1992, when panchayats were made a part of a proper, a system of Indian government. Okay, it was 73rd amendment. All right, let's move forward. Article 43, ठीक है, Article 40. अच्छा एक बात, सारे जो आर्टिकल्स है ना बेटा, ये है तो लाइन में 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43 से 51 तक, बिकॉज हमने इनको कैटेगरीज में ब्रेक किया है ना, सो इसीलिए दीज आर्टिकल्स आर लाइक दिस. सो वी कैन से मे बी 41 आर्टिकल माइट बी इन सम अदर कैटेगरी एंड 42 माइट बी इन सम अदर कैटेगरी, बट 43 अगेन वाज इन गांधी, तो हमने ऐसे लगाया है. ये मत सोचना कि बीच में आर्टिकल्स मिसिंग है. सी टेक एन एग्जांपल, वी हैड 38, 39, these are only there, but we have 40, 43, 43b, but we might have 41, 42 over here. ठीक है, we have 41, 42 otherwise. Alright, so उनसे वो मत होना. Alright, तो देखो 43 क्या कह रहा है? To promote cottage industries on an individual or cooperation basis in rural areas. ठीक है, cottage industries क्या होती है? cottage industries जो पहाड़ों में कॉटेज में जाके बनाते हैं इंडस्ट्री, वो या कॉटेज चीज उसमें मैन्युफैक्चर होती है.
मैम फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे एसेंस स्टिक्स हो गए, ये सब का जिसमें प्रोडक्शन होता है ना, उसे कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री.
वेरी गुड. सो स्मॉल स्केल प्रोडक्शंस जो होते हैं ना बच्चों, लोकल प्रोडक्शंस जो होते हैं, जैसे कि कोई एक गांव है जो वहां की पत्तियों से बीड़ी बनाता है, ठीक है. अब वो बीड़ी जो है वो डाबर जितनी बड़ी कंपनी तो नहीं है, बट इंडस्ट्री तो है. सो दोज स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज आर कॉल्ड एज कॉटेज इंडस्ट्रीज. ओके, कॉटेज मतलब स्मॉल स्केल, छोटे छोटे घरों में भी वो स्टार्ट हो जाती है, राइट. सो दिस सेज दैट वी शुड प्रमोट दी स्मॉल स्केल इंडस्ट्रीज बिकॉज दे गिव अ लॉट ऑफ लाइवलीहुड एंड सोशल एंड फाइनेंशियल सिक्योरिटी to the local people. All right, so it's maybe like, for example, we have Article 19 that talks about the freedom of profession and trade. Okay, this is one example of it. Next article 43b, to promote voluntary formation, autonomous functioning, democratic control of, इतने खतरनाक नाम है. Basically to promote cooperative societies. अगर ये मुझे किसी ने आज बता दिया ना कि ये कौन से फंडामेंटल राइट में था, निहारिका यू कैन, कि टू फॉर्म कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज, इज इट अ फंडामेंटल राइट या कहाँ पे था?
19.
ने आंसर दे दिया, यस इट वाज आर्टिकल 19. जो हमारा जो था ना, फ्रीडम टू फॉर्म एसोसिएशंस एंड कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज. वेरी गुड समृद्धि, कांग्रेचुलेशंस बेटा. सो इट वाज एक्चुअली 19(1)(c). ठीक है, सो इट वाज फ्रीडम टू फॉर्म एसोसिएशंस एंड कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज. कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी पे जो कुछ नहीं होती, जैसे अमूल इटसेल्फ, फॉर एग्जांपल, इट्स अ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी दैट मेनी पीपल दे केम टुगेदर एंड दे आर नाउ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग समथिंग और वर्किंग टुगेदर. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल 46 क्या कहता है? टू प्रमोट द एजुकेशन एंड economic interests of SCs, STs and other weaker sections of the society and to protect them from social exploitation, social injustice and exploitation. So economic interest of these, इसमें बेटा कोई भी जो रिजर्वेशन है, ठीक है, social and economic, So we give them reservations, we give them, domicile systems. All of these are helpful. Yes, Article 23. Article 23 was right against exploitation, में human trafficking and all of these. हाँ, it can be. Yes, very good. Yes, Article 23 में, because we have to stop any kind of exploitation. So it was Article 23, right against exploitation, right? 47 देखो क्या कह रहा है, to prohibit the consumption of intoxicating drinks. से तो पता नहीं कौन से 1 करोड़ साल बाद भी मुझे लगता है कि ये तो फुलफिल नहीं होने हो पाने का, कि हमें कोई भी इंटॉक्सिकेटिंग ड्रिंक्स और ड्रग्स और ये सब चीजें जो इंजूरियस टू हेल्थ है ये हमें खानी पीनी नहीं चाहिए. गांधी जी ने सोचा था बहुत अच्छा है, बट ऑन दैट लाइंस बाय द वे, जैसे बिहार, गुजरात, नाम के लिए तो भैया दे आर व्हाट वी कॉल देम एज ड्राई स्टेट्स, कि यहाँ पे दारू नहीं मिलती. लेकिन जब
बट इम्पार्शियल है, होम ब्रू भी चलती है वहां पे जो
भाई है भाई, उसमें इतनी स्मगलिंग चलती है दारू की, कुछ पूछो मत, है ना. अच्छा, so Samriddhi has asked that why are not all states as dry states and why is government so inactive and not doing anything about it? So there are 2 key reasons to this, Samriddhi. पहला तो क्या है कि सरकार ये बात मानेगी नहीं, बट अल्कोहल जो है ना, अल्कोहल
टैक्स का चक्कर है सारा.
तो अल्कोहल से इतना टैक्स मिलता है ना, इवन अल्कोहल, सिगरेट्स, बिकॉज वी कैन थिंक भाई कि गवर्नमेंट वैसे तो चुनाव कर रही है कि आज मुकेश हमारे बीच नहीं है, ठीक है, और जो है उसको ये कैंसर हुआ, फलाने ढिमकाने का कैंसर हुआ, बट आप सिगरेट्स बैन क्यों नहीं करते? व्हाई डोंट यू बैन देम ऑल टुगेदर? मनी, so much of tax is collected on cigarette, alcohol. So government की income के लिए cess, right?
8% है वो, that's like crazy.
Oh भाई साहब, ठीक है, that's a big one. So government जो है, it is earning a lot from these commodities, okay? So पहली बात तो ये है कि गवर्नमेंट को बहुत बड़ा बैकलैश मिलेगा if this money is not collected, ठीक है. One thing is this.
Arvind Kejriwal for the same reason.
देखो अब बात वही है, बेचारे को जब जेल से फुर्सत मिलेगी तब वो कुछ कर भी पाएगा, ठीक है. बीजेपी ने तो गंदा फंसा दिया उसको, ठीक है. So one reason, बच्चों, this the tax that the government receives from these commodities, and second reason is, for example, when we talk about Bihar, Gujarat, all of these, है ना, they have been made dry states, but not all the states have been made dry states because all of these substances, बच्चों, they are in the state list. By state list, I mean that the laws on these subjects or these topics can be made by the state legislatures and not the parliament. देखो, अगर parliament law बना रही होती तो एक बार में पूरे इंडिया के लिए law बना देती, right? But it is dependent on state to state whether or not you want to make alcohol, legal or illegal or however over there. Even you must see that the age for consumption of alcohol is different in different states. कहीं पे it's 21, कहीं पे it's 25. So it's like that, okay? So I hope now you understand, Samriddhi, that why we are not banning, because government cannot currently afford to lose onto the huge sum of money as tax which it is receiving. Okay, so इसीलिए बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है बैन. इससे गवर्नमेंट को लगता है कि ऐसा करते हैं, बेच लेते हैं, लोगों को समझा लेते हैं कि भाई आपको पीनी है तो पियो, वैसे तो गंदी चीज है बट पीनी तो नहीं चाहिए, बट हम तो प्रोवाइड करवा रहे हैं. तभी देसी ठेके होते हैं, देसी यहाँ सरकारी ठेके नहीं होते हैं, वो भी होते हैं, ठीक है.
Ma'am, more than half of the government officials have उनका खुद का, CM का ही खुद का पब होता है. सीधी रानी की बेटी का गोवा में इतना बड़ा कसिनो है.
तो सोचो, ये लोग एक्चुअली ना सब ट्रम्प की लाइंस पे चल रहे हैं, ठीक है. ट्रम्प ऑल्सो इज अ बिग टाइम कसिनो ओनर, ना. सो यहाँ पे भी दे आर लाइक, एंड कसिनोज हैं, दे हैव देयर ओन बार्स, दे, बिकॉज सी यू कैन नॉट ओपन अ शराब का ठेका जस्ट लाइक दैट, यू नीड टू हैव लाइसेंस फॉर दैट, है ना. तो सरकार में ही आप बैठे हो तो इट्स सो इजी फॉर यू टू गेट अ लाइसेंस, एंड it's so much money, okay. So so like you're right, Samriddhi, like Bihar, Gujarat mein also, and ठीक है, they also did, even if impartial, ठीक है. See देखो बेटा, this is actually one very dangerous thing. I'll tell you why. At times something bad which is regulated is less dangerous as when it is banned and smuggled. I'll tell you why. Because ये कभी सुना है कच्ची शराब पी के इतने लोग मर गए? क्योंकि पिए बिना वो नहीं बाज आएंगे. आई एम टेलिंग यू. सो उसमें क्या होता है, स्मगलिंग होती है, उस स्मगलिंग के चलते और चीजों की स्मगलिंग होती है, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर खराब होता है, और बिकॉज द पुलिस हैज टू प्रिटेंड, द सिस्टम हैज टू प्रिटेंड कि हमारे यहाँ तो दारू पीते ही नहीं है, दे कैन नॉट इवन टैकल द प्रॉब्लम ऑन अ फोर फ्रंट, राइट. सो दैट इज वाई मेनी टाइम्स इट इज सेड दैट समथिंग दैट इज अनहेल्दी और रॉन्ग, it is better to be regulated rather than banned and smuggled. All right. So हाँ भाविका बोलो.
मैम जैसे अगर गवर्नमेंट बैन कर दे अल्कोहल, तो जो हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर्स में इतना ये पैसा लगाते हैं वो तो बचेगा ना। अगर इधर से
कौन
पैसे
लगाता है
जा
हेल्थ
रहे
केयर
तो
सेक्टर में पैसा? सरकार.
गवर्नमेंट अगर स्कीम लाती है जिससे,
सिर्फ अल्कोहलिक्स के लिए कोई स्कीम सुनी है?
लेकिन अल्कोहलिक्स की नहीं आती, लेकिन अल्कोहल से ही ना आगे मतलब जो होता है,
देखो
अब लोग
अल्कोहल
बताते नहीं है।
वन वेरी स्मॉल पोर्शन ऑफ हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स. ठीक है. एज कंपेयर टू जितनी और प्रॉब्लम्स इंडिया में हो रही हैं. ठीक है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि इट इज वैसे अ स्मॉल प्रॉब्लम बट कंपैरेटिवली इट इज अ स्मॉल प्रॉब्लम. ऑलराइट. फर्स्ट थिंग इज दिस. सेकंड थिंग इज दिस कि इफ गवर्नमेंट विल रिड्यूस द स्पेंड इन हेल्थ केयर, वहां से भी तो पैसा आता है. वो नहीं पैसा आता क्या? तो वो वहां से अगर 10 करोड़ खर्च कर रहे हैं तो 2 करोड़ जेब में भी जाता है. अब खर्च ही नहीं करने को मिलेगा तो जेब में कहां से जाएगा? इट इज अ हार्श रियलिटी. इट इज अ हार्श रियलिटी. एंड इसकी वजह से बेटा so many other kinds of problems can also be risen, क्योंकि आपका हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर वीक हो सकता है अगर आप हेल्थ केयर में इन्वेस्ट ही नहीं करोगे. ये तो ये कि आपको एनी विच वे इन्वेस्ट करना है तो उसमें अल्कोहलिक्स का भी इलाज हो जाएगा, बट देयर इज नो स्पेशल हॉस्पिटल, स्पेशल स्कीम और एनी काइंड ऑफ स्पेशल आधार कार्ड जो आपको मिल गया हो या फिर अल्कोहल कार्ड की आपको यहाँ पे आपको कोई रिलैक्सेशन मिल जाएगा क्योंकि आप दारू पी के आए हो. ठीक है. सो दिस इज वन थिंग दैट इज ट्रू. बट जितना पैसा कलेक्ट होता है इट इज वे टू मच एज कम्पेयर टू पैसा जो वो अल्कोहल पे खर्च कर रहे होंगे, मतलब अल्कोहल के इलाज पे. ठीक है. तो गवर्नमेंट बहुत स्मार्ट है, ये ऐसी नहीं स्कीम लगाती, क्योंकि वैसे तो पूरे में पर्चा फैला के चलते हैं कि नशा मुक्ति करो, नशे में बेटा डूबना नहीं है. ठीक है. और जो है खुद एक एक पैग मार के आए होते हैं सच में. ठीक है. हाँ समृद्धि बोलो.
तो अगर जब प्रोहिबिशन का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है कि हाँ प्रोहिबिट कर दे, तो ये आर्टिकल एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है।
क्या करते हैं?
तो फिर ये आर्टिकल ही क्यों एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है प्रोहिबिशन का?
हाँ सब देखो ये बेटा एक्चुअली मुझे लगता है कि इट इज मोर ऑफ लाइक टू पे मतलब एन ओड टू महात्मा गांधी कि आपके रिस्पेक्ट में हम इसको रखा हुआ है.
है ना कि सिर्फ रख रखा है कि हाँ प्रोहिबिट करें।
हाँ मतलब इट्स लाइक बहुत मुझे लगता है इससे अचीवेबल, फार अचीवेबल, मतलब फार प्लेजेड अचीवेबल है. क्या पता सालों बाद ये अचीवेबल हो भी जाए एंड गवर्नमेंट कैन गेट मनी फ्रॉम अदर रिसोर्सेज एंड इट विल बी एबल टू बैन इट आल्सो. यू नेवर नो. है ना. तो हो सकता है. तो बट यही है कि
बट
कुछ
मैम दे
ऐसा
शुड नॉट बैन, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, क्योंकि जैसे बिहार में देयर आर इंस्टेंसेस ना कि कच्ची दारू बेच देंगे, लाइक जहरीली दारू बेच देंगे,
और तब भी वो पी लेते हैं लोग और मर
या तो
जाते
भाई
हैं.
सही से,
See, even
हाँ,
I
या तो
believe
हिपोक्रेसी
that
कम कर दो अपना.
even I
Right.
believe that, as I was saying, कि rather than banning a thing and it gets smuggled, it's rather better to make it controlled, checked and regulated by the government. क्योंकि उसमें कम से कम आप like let's take an example. If prostitution is legalized in India, देखो इंडिया में prostitution isn't legal. ठीक है. but there are many places जो लोगों को पुलिस को पता है कि भाई यहाँ पे ऐसा होता है, but at least it's in their knowledge. Getting? So they can tackle the things very sensitively related to that area. बट अगर वो यही मान के चल जाए कि भाई हमें तो कुछ पता ही नहीं, हम तो आंख बंद करके बैठे हैं उस चीज से, will it not exist? It will still exist. Take my word, it will still exist and even in a worsened manner. और बुरी तरह होगा क्योंकि वहां पे ट्रैफिकिंग होगी और क्राइम्स होंगे बिकॉज देयर इज नो रेगुलेशन व्हाटसोएवर. अब कम से कम पुलिस को पता तो है कि ये एरिया रेड लाइट एरिया है, सो उन्हें पता तो है कि दे हैव टू बी मोर सेंसिटिव इन दिस एरिया. अब पता ही नहीं है, पता चला कि ट्यूशन सेंटर के नाम पे, ट्रस्ट मी, हल्द्वानी वेयर आई लिव, पंतनगर उसके पास हल्द्वानी है, there were some coaching classes. They were only for the namesake of coaching classes. और वहां पे एक्चुअल में they were doing this work of prostitution. तो it's even worse, don't you think? ये तो और खराब है क्योंकि उस चक्कर में कुछ इनोसेंट लोग भी फंस जाते हैं who did not want to be in this business. So I also believe that regulation is better than directly banning a thing which is so difficult to handle in the first place. चलो लास्ट देखो क्या बोल रहा है. To prohibit the slaughter of cows, calves and other milch and draught cattle and to improve their breeds. ठीक है. अच्छा मिल्च क्या होता है बच्चे? मिल्च एंड ड्रॉट कैटल्स कौन से होते हैं? मिल्च क्या होता है किसी को पता है? अरे यार ये तो बड़ा इजी सा है. मिल्क गिविंग. ठीक है. वो एनिमल्स जिनका मिल्क प्रोड्यूस होता है. यस वेरी गुड समृद्धि. दीज आर द मिल्क गिविंग एनिमल्स. एंड व्हाट आर द ड्रॉट एनिमल्स? जो इतना पानी पी जाते हैं कि ड्रॉट आ जाती है. ऐसा नहीं है. ड्रॉट एनिमल्स विच हेल्प इन कैरेज. जैसे गधा जो होता है ना, गधा गधा इज अ ड्रॉट एनिमल. ऊंट in Registan and everything, it's a drought animal. तो इनके slaughter को मतलब we should not kill these and we should save them, we should improve their life as well. चलो लास्ट है लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रिंसिपल्स. लिबरल इंटेलेक्चुअल देखो नाम से समझ में आ रहा है जो हमारे माइंड को, हमारे थॉट को, हमारी एजुकेशन को लिबरलाइज करता हो, दैट लिबरलाइजेस आवर माइंड, ऑलराइट, एंड इंटेलेक्चुअल दैट आर रिलेटेड विद एजुकेशन और इंटेलेक्ट और रीडिंग बुक्स, समथिंग लाइक दैट. ओके, तो देखो आर्टिकल 44 क्या कहता है? सिक्योर फॉर ऑल सिटीजंस अ uniform civil code. Zara quickly somebody give me an example that which state in India has become the first state to bring a uniform civil code. Take Arun. Can anyone tell me?
Madhya Pradesh.
चलो तुम्हें मैं हिंट देती हूँ, मेरी स्टेट है
हरियाणा,
जहाँ से मैं वैसे हूँ, आई एम हरियाणा बोर्न बट
उत्तराखंड.
यस उत्तराखंड. ऑलराइट, सो उत्तराखंड बच्चों, अब यूके लिख देती हूँ, कई लोग ना यूके को समझ लेते हैं यूनाइटेड किंगडम, ठीक है. सो उत्तराखंड हैज बिकम द फर्स्ट स्टेट ऑफ इंडिया to introduce a uniform civil code. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of uniform civil code?
Same kind of laws are applicable to everyone.
Yes, same kind of laws are applicable to everyone in the matter of personal laws. देखो, not otherwise, but in the matter of religious laws. ठीक है. देखो करंटली हमारे पास हिंदू लॉ अलग है, हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट इज डिफरेंट, मुस्लिम लॉज आर डिफरेंट. सो yes, very good Samriti, you've given the correct answer also. So uniform civil code, these are all civil laws, matlab that are related to your religion, to your property, divorce, all of these things, these are called as civil laws. Okay, uniform civil laws or civil code will be that everybody, no matter you are a Hindu or a Muslim or whatever, we will all be subjected to the same kind of laws. Taking an example, a Muslim man has the right, you know, he can rightfully, according to Islam, he can rightfully marry how many 4 marriages कर सकता है वो, ठीक है, क्या किस्मत है ना. सो वो राइटफुली 4 शादी कर सकता है. बट अ हिंदू इफ ही मैरीज अ सेकंड टाइम, दैट मैरिज विल बी अ वॉइड मैरिज. उसको हम बिल्कुल मानेंगे नहीं, कोई मान्यता नहीं है, इलीगल है, ठीक है, वॉइड है, इलीगल मैरिज है, राइट. बट अभी क्या है, बिकॉज वी हैव डिफरेंट, यस वी इट विल बी दी ऑफेंस ऑफ बाईगैमी. गैमी का मतलब होता है मैरिज और बाय मतलब 2, तो 2 मैरिजेस विल नॉट बी अलाउड इन हिंदू लॉ, बट मुस्लिम्स में तो अलाउड है. बट अगर यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड आता है, सो इट विल बी सेम फॉर ऑल. अब क्या लगता है कि हिंदूज को 4 शादी करने का मौका मिलेगा या मुस्लिम्स के लिए 1 शादी हो जाएगी? मोस्ट प्रोबेबली चांसेस ये हैं कि मुस्लिम्स विल आल्सो बी ओनली बी गिवन द राइट टू मैरी ओनली वंस. ठीक है, दिस इज यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड. सो दिस वाज देयर इन आर्टिकल 44 एंड उसी की लाइंस पे उत्तराखंड हैज बिकम द फर्स्ट स्टेट टू इंट्रोड्यूस यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड. कंफ्यूज मत होना, गोवा ऑलरेडी हैड अ यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, तो प्लीज रिमेंबर. Alright, इसका पहले से ही यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड है, even before independence it was following uniform civil code, but Uttarakhand after the independence has become the first state. Okay, ठीक है. Next, Article 45, to provide early childhood care and education for all children until they complete the age of 6 years. अब जरा इसको पढ़ो सबके सब. You remember RTE, RTI नहीं मैं कह रही, RTE, राइट टू एजुकेशन, कौन से आर्टिकल में था?
21.
It was Article 21A and it provided education किस एज ग्रुप के लिए? एज ग्रुप ऑफ
6 to 14.
वेरी गुड, 6 to 14 years. So do you know, अरे तो गाना है, do you know 2002 से पहले this fundamental right बच्चों was not a fundamental right. You can tell ना, this was added through amendment. Earlier, it was only a directive principle under Article 45. And later in 2002, when the government thought that yes, now we are in the condition that we can give this education to all children from 6 to 14 years, they moved this from DPSP, made it a fundamental right. और जो जगह खाली हुई, अब आर्टिकल 45 तो खाली हो गया because it was earlier talking about 6 to 14. There they added this new provision that now we will give early childhood care and education till the age of 6 years. आया समझ कि पहले it was 6 to 14. When that was made a fundamental right, new DPSP was added over here. मतलब इसी article 45 में new thing was added that till 6 years now we will give it. The time is not far when even this will be made a fundamental right in the coming times. All right. So just look forward to it. All right.
Article 21B.
यू नेवर नो, हाँ, और मे बी 21A में ही इसको ऐड कर सकते हैं, है ना, पर 21B हो सकता है ऐड हो जाए, है ना, दैट एजुकेशन एंड अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर फॉर ऑल द चिल्ड्रन टिल द एज ऑफ 6 years, राइट? तब देखो पता नहीं इसमें क्या भरेंगे. So 86th Amendment 2002 changed the subject matter of this article and made it elementary education till the age of, इसको 21A बना दिया and यहाँ पे till the age of 6 years को add कर दिया. Second last, Article 48 to organize agriculture and animal husbandry. वाह, कि आपको एग्रीकल्चर करना चाहिए, जानवर पालने चाहिए, ठीक है, और लेकिन सब आपको करना चाहिए लेकिन साइंटिफिक लाइन से, मतलब आपको नया नया उसमें इनोवेशन करते रहना चाहिए. Then Article 49, protect monuments, places and objects of artistic or historic interest which are declared to be of national importance. अब पता चला कि you go to लाल किला और वहां पे अपना और अपने प्रेमी का नाम दिल में लिख कर आ गए, और वो नहीं होता खचर 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 करके ऐसे करके कि शैवा लव्स, किसका नाम लिखूं बताओ, किसका लिखूं जल्दी बताओ, भाविका लिख देते हैं, ठीक है, शैवा लव्स भाविका, और मस्त बनाया दिल और तीर भी पार करा दिया दिल से. ये इस तरह की बदतमीजी आपने कई बार कई मॉन्यूमेंट्स में देखी होगी, लाइक पीपल एनक्रोच दीज मॉन्यूमेंट्स. यू शुड नॉट डू इट, okay, because this is a very bad thing to do, and it is even under a directive principle that we should protect, that the state should be making endeavors to protect the monuments and such places which are of historic importance. ठीक है भाई, ताजमहल शाहजहां ने अपने प्यार की निशानी में बनाया ना, आप अपनी प्यार की निशानी में कुछ और बनाओ, उसके बेचारे के ताजमहल के ऊपर कुछ और कुछ मत करो, राइट? नाउ दिस बच्चों इज समथिंग दैट वी हैव ऑलरेडी रेड, Article 50, to separate the judiciary from executive in the public services of the state. Do you remember Article 12 and Article 13? Under the meaning of state, judiciary was not included, and for this it came under the purview of judicial review. ये आ रहा है ना समझ में? So उसका हमने इंस्पिरेशन कहाँ से लिया था? To separate the judiciary from the executive, it was under Article 50, जो खुद एक directive principle था, right? And lastly, Article 51, to promote international peace and security, that we should have good and healthy relationships with our other nations or international countries. ठीक है? Yes. So very good, Samriddhi. Judiciary was independent, and to make judiciary independent, we took the inspiration from Article 50 of the Constitution.
सो आई होप कि आपको ये क्लास अच्छी लगी एंड आपको यहाँ समझ भी आया होगा. दिस वॉज द एंड ऑफ दिस क्लास, बट इसके बाद और भी क्लासेस हैं इसी सब्जेक्ट की, तो आप उन्हें ज़रूर देखना. ये बैक टू बैक एक प्लेलिस्ट में लिस्टेड है, सो मिस मत करना. एक भी क्लास मिस करोगे तो अगली आपको समझ में नहीं आएगी. ओके, सो डू वॉच द नेक्स्ट क्लास एंड स्टे ट्यून्ड विद द चैनल इफ यू वांट टू कवर एंटायर क्लैट सिलेबस विद अस इन दिस वीडियो लेक्चर सीरीज. स्टे ट्यून्ड. सी यू देयर.